What's going on, everybody? Slime Gatchman here, and boy do I have a good video for you guys today. So like I've explained maybe in a previous video, I've got a welder which is originally for my dad, but he's not using it anymore, and I was like, well, give me that thing. And I just bought a new bottle, so I'm all sort of good to go. And today we're gonna install this, or just take away the clutch. That's gonna be for a later date, but we got some reinforcement plates for the rear, for the whole subframe cradle to sit in, these, and then we have a lot of polyurethane bushings, like for the subframe, for the trailing arms, front, back, lower, up, everything. We've got some camber arms. So what we're gonna do today is to fully drop the rear end, take everything apart, clean it all. We're gonna give it some paint. I had some funky colors that I still had, some bright paint and some, what is it, Takata green, or I don't know, purple. There's not much in some of them, but at least these were full, so we're gonna give it some funky colors. Also, when you do roll the car, it looks cool. No, let's say something happens and I want to sell the car, then I can say like, hey, I've taken everything apart, replaced everything, new bushings, and you can see that there's been some maintenance because it's been painted and stuff. And I don't know, I think when you have it off there, also a little bit of extra paint never hurt anyone, to like just to protect it from rust or just the weather in general. So we're gonna clean it all up and make it nice and cool again. Then we're gonna start welding, and we weld in these plates with the subframe and the trailing arms. These are for the trailing arms, this is for the subframe, where it attaches to the body, because the E36 has a tendency to be able to rip the whole rear end out of the car if you make enough power. Now I'm not making that power, but this is all in prep for making more power, basically, because I want to continue this. I want to have that one car that is like insanely fast, and I want to have a high horsepower car in my life. And I could do it with different cars, but I don't know, I wanted to, like I said previous video, I wanted to do like a turbo build. That's on my bucket list. And why not do it in a drift car and just combine it all into one fully decked out car. So this is all in preparation for that. I think I'm gonna do it in a 3-part video, so taking everything out, then cleaning and putting everything back in, and the welding, and then reassemble again. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4-part video, depending on how much footage I have or how much time it will take. Now unfortunately it's a bit shitty weather. It's somewhat dry now, but I had some free days. I wanted to start yesterday, and I put the car up and I started assembling things, disassembling things. And then my colleague was like, hey, can you start an hour early? I was like, an hour early? And I checked my schedule and I overlooked one shift and I still had to work. So I need to assemble everything back to make it in time for work. But today I'm all free, so, and then tomorrow and day after tomorrow I have a few days off. So I'm gonna start cracking at it. Thomas just sent me a message like, hey, what are you doing today? I'm like, I'm working on the BMW. He was like, well, I was like, what, do you want to come and help? He was like, yeah, it's better than sitting at home, which I fully agree with. So Thomas is gonna help me, which I was at first like, I can do this myself, and now I'm like, well, I'm glad that he comes along, because especially with getting everything off, as soon as it's off I can disassemble everything, get it inside nice and warm, no pain with the weather. But let's see how we go on. I'm almost rambling on for 5 minutes, so let's get cracking. So first thing I'm gonna do is jack the car up, maybe put something on the ground because it's a little bit wet, maybe put the party tent on depending on if it's gonna rain even more, and just start lifting it up, putting it on jack stands, remove the wheels and remove the brake calipers and the handbrake lines, because that needs to be disconnected from the car in order to drop everything at once. I'm gonna pick up the camera there when everything is up and I'm starting to unbolt things. So, Thomas has arrived.
What's up?
I started on this side and I got most of the things off. Now I'm struggling to get the wheel nut off.
You know that's not a blanket for on the street?
I know. It's for windows, but it isolates a little bit and keeps me dry. And I need to take the handbrake cable out. I already got the caliper off, which is just simple 2 bolts here, and then you take the what is it, shock, take it off, and then the lower control arm, you can just route it through there, hold on with a little bracket here with 2 little bolts. But I had to put those back on because if I'm pushing this one like down to twist it off, I'm pulling the whole control arm down, or the whole, what is it, trailing arm down. So now it has some rigidity that it stays where it is, and well, we need to apply some pressure with 2 people here. So after, cue the music, after everything went very well, I got like the trailing arms off, everything else. I'm struggling with 2 things, which is still this one, it doesn't want to come out. So we decided to just drop everything, keep it in place, and then just go to a nearby garage where they have like a ugga to get it off. And the other thing that is really bothering us is the handbrake cable there, which on Thomas's side was easier to remove because I've replaced that axle like twice now. So we got the whole trailing arm off, and hope you can see that. Wait, I have a light on my head for a reason. There we go.
This thingy.
That thingy. And it just seems to be stuck in there. So we don't know if we can just pull it or do we need to twist it, or which is, yeah,
kind of fucked.
kind of shitty. So once we figured out how to remove it, we can do it on the other side where we have less room to play with.
It doesn't want to budge.
Then again, Thomas. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking if we drop the trailing arm like this on the other side, we can at least drop the subframe and everything.
Yeah, but first you need to remove
But
the
I
axle.
first need to remove that axle that's not coming out, for fuck's sake. Well, worst case scenario, I can undo it on the other side, which I think I'm gonna do, because at least then I'm able to pull parts from the car and at least do something when the sun goes down and still be productive, because that is shit I can do inside where it's nice and warm and light, at least at night. So you have fun on that side. I'm gonna remove this axle, so at least this trailing arm and everything is separate from the subframe, and then we're gonna drop the subframe because that's gonna come down today at least. So here it is. As you can see, we got the whole diff, subframe, everything out. As you can see, we left the trailing arms in there because we don't know how to get that, oh excuse me, get the cable out. That one. So I'm gonna take my time tonight to do some research and to check out how that is exactly removed, so we can remove it and then continue on. But at least for now I can disassemble everything here, press every new bushing in, thank you, nasty
You're
fucker,
welcome.
and then weld in some reinforcement plates here, that one, and then that one, also in that corner, and of course there at the trailing arms. So whew, I think we're gonna put that back up, tidy everything up here a little bit, so this can just stay here outside. I mean, if they want to steal it, they need to remove it, and then
Good luck with those cables.
Yeah. and if they do, I'm happy to hear how they did it. But anyway, that one can go inside. These nuts go on here. Just put them there so I don't forget them. And then now it's just getting this all inside the house nice and warm and start working on it. Just take the rust off and give it some paint. Ugh. So,
hey, you're a Hindu. Turn the camera.
Am I Hindu?
Yeah, you're a Hindu.
Do I have a black spot on my face? Right in the middle. So, let's just get that sucker inside. So, I got my tools here. I left the subframe here, so I have a little bit of room to work on it. I'm gonna focus on this first, because when it's welded up, new bushings and everything are painted, this can go back into the car. And if I don't have the time or run into an issue because I need to work on, well, for me that's like in a week, which should be enough. But in case, you know, worst case scenario, I would be able to like put this on and leave this on. I don't have to take that off again, and then just the trailing arm is easier to get off. Now I was gonna plan to do this wheel bearing because this is the side that had the little impact, the hit on the curb, and it was like, well, you could hear it. And now when I'm taking it off, I'm checking it for the first time like this, and so much movement and sound in it, it's crazy. So I'm gonna leave that for now, because of course that needs to be fixed, but I'm gonna undo all the arms of the subframe and get the differential out so everything is nice and easy to work on. Then we're gonna see if I can get these out, maybe in the press. Not sure yet how I'm gonna do that. Usually I just drill in a little bit and then take the, what is it, hacksaw, whatever it is, this one. In Dutch we say decopeerzaag. Take that one out, cut it all the way around, and then the middle drops out, and you just take a chisel or a screwdriver or whatever and just tap the outer ring. That should be normally enough. Also, I have a set in that red case that might help pulling all these things out. So I'm just gonna see what's easiest, and I will show you guys of course when I do. But for now I'm just gonna undo everything on the subframe. I hope I showed you guys enough of the process. I mean, it's just 4 bolts holding this on, then it's the trailing arm that's been held to the body with this one, and that's basically all you need to take out. The brake lines were a bit of a pain in the ass, but it was so easy. We left them in on the back side and just undo them at the handbrake, and I thought there was a way for this to easily like come apart and you pull it out, but apparently it's easier to just undo it at the brake line, or the handbrake, physical handbrake itself. So we just pulled that out, because if we'd done that earlier we would have had it out of the car faster, and also just with everything attached. So yeah, those are out, which is just simple bolt and nut. It's nothing special. Same thing for those. So I'm gonna take the top one, bottom one out. Same on the other side, top, bottom one out. And then the axle, I'm gonna take the axle out. Then the subframe, which is 1, 2, and then here one at the front. I don't know if you can see that, but 3 bolts. Take the subframe out, and then it should be all ready to clean up and paint, do the bushings and reassemble. Don't have to do the subframe bushings because I've already done those in the past. So just all new bushings for the rest. Here we go. So I'm gonna leave this video right here. As you can see, the diff is just all out, and I'm gonna apply some tools to get some bushings out, get all the external arms off, get the diff out, but that will be in the next video, because don't know if I already said it, but I'm gonna do it like a multiple part video. So if you like it, please smash that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, because this is, well, part 1. We're gonna redo all the bushings and stuff and get it back in, and of course do a test drive, because there was some clunking going on, which had to do, I think, mostly by like this one, which is just loose by hand like that, which is not gonna be able to do anymore with those in. So like I said, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.